guys, I thought we could walk through the Grub Truck footage together, look at it objectively from a different point of view, see what we can see. So I started where Joe, tan hat guy, comes into the picture. We'll see him walk up to some friends, and then he'll order. Now I've got the volume down right now to speak, but I'll turn it back up in a minute. Another thing I want to mention is we were recently demonetized for reused content. Now I've done a deep dive into what all that entails, and it's quite a bit of things. So we're trying to figure out how we want to restructure our channel, if we want to continue doing clips, if we just want to cover true crime cases. We have a whole month to figure it out. Evidently YouTube wants you speaking over your footage that you're borrowing from other people the whole friggin' time. I'm not sure how lives get away with, you know, playing a news clip or things like that, not speaking throughout it, but again, these are YouTube's rules. We do not have any strikes against us. We do not have any copyright claims against us, so it's just going to be us figuring out where we want to go from here. So bear with us, and we understand if some people drop off or if you stay. We appreciate it. So Joe's about to order. I'll turn the volume back up, let that play, and then I'll probably speed it up to where Maddie and Kaylee enter the picture.
Ever. How are you doing, man?
Good, brother.
Excellent.
Can I get the let's do the 5 cheese. Yeah.
Yeah. Just straight 5 cheese?
No, I'll do 2 of those.
2? Yeah, you got it, man.
Are you guys doing burritos right now?
Yeah. Everything. We got everything. We're not out of anything. Whoever floats your
Now,
boat.
if you remember from our videos of Joe from TikTok, which go watch them now because they're probably going to be deleted soon, he tells us he was not inebriated.
Coolers are insulated.
I get a little different picture from Joe after listening to him order.
Alright, that's it.
Okay.
And
2
then,
5
2
cheese?
drinks.
And 2 drinks?
Yeah.
What would you like?
Coke, Zero, 1 root beer, Sprite.
He said Coke Zero. That's offensive.
I don't think he was drunk or anything, but definitely a little tipsy and had enjoyed himself, in my opinion.
I don't want anything to drink. I want food.
And water.
Yes.
2 waters?
Water. No, 1 water, 1 Coke.
1 water, 1 Coke.
No cheese?
Absolutely.
Got it. I got it right here for you.
2 5 cheese, 1 water,
Yeah.
1 Coke. It's gonna be $19 for you. Oh yeah, man.
Oh shit, where's my wallet? That's my pocket. You're good.
Oh, well, you did. And then,
What's that?
don't worry. And then I looked over Reddit and went, oh,
How much is
okay.
it?
Because I saw it. I think I
19
saw it
even.
earlier.
I don't know how much is here, but let's see.
All right, no cheese?
5.
I'm excited to
Well,
find
It's
out.
right there for you.
We'll do this minus from that, and then the rest I'll do on my card.
Okay, done. Yeah, split. Well,
It's like $12. Yep, that would put some in the
Thank you, dear.
thank you.
It's been
$12, so it's just gonna be
$5?
$5.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and speed it up
Yeah, just
until the
fine.
girls enter the picture.
Or no, it's 19.
And
Because it's
remember,
16.
Joe
2
has
bags, and then each
also
drink is all
told
good.
us
That's 19.
that he was at the corner club where the girls were. Remember, he said ew to Maddie. So that interaction happened at the bar prior to this. So just kind of keep that in mind as we go through this footage, that there was a prior interaction. You're about to see Maddie, Kaylee, and Hoodie Guy, we think is Jackass, enter the picture right there. I slowed it down. Now you can see he came with them. He wasn't behind them. He was in between them. In my opinion, they came from the corner club together.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thanks. I think I would like the carbonara. But if I have like a free Grub Truck on my
Now Maddie spots someone she knows and she starts to head over to them and give them a hug. In my opinion, and I have 21-year-olds. I have a 21-year-old and a 22-year-old. So I am not judging her, but in my opinion, Maddie is pretty drunk here. Kaylee seems to have her wits about her, so I wouldn't put her in like the drunk category, maybe slightly tipsy. But Maddie, I would definitely put
so what you
in
want
the
to do
category
is
based on
we'll
the way
actually,
she's walking. We'll see
do
her, cut through some people here in a minute, and definitely swaying. So I would definitely put her in
Absolutely.
the drunk category.
How many more do you need? That's the second one? Awesome.
Don's mom. Oh wait, yeah, one more, one.
Now here Maddie looks back at Jack, and I know some people have interpreted this as her keeping an eye on someone who's suspicious. I don't think she had enough wits about her to be able to do that. In my opinion, they probably left the corner club together. It's a 6-minute walk from the corner club to the Grub Truck. So I could see them knowing him at the bar and being like, hey, we're headed here. Can you walk with us to make sure we're safe? Or just him offering it up even. And we know after they leave the Grub Truck, they take the ride service home. That's offered through their
Maybe I didn't have a fruit one.
It's right here.
And then what was the mac?
Don't forget to remove the spoon.
Carbonara.
The carbonara mac of the week.
Here, I'll grab it for you.
Excellent. And then click see
Had
rewards.
several people talk about
Enjoy.
Maddie not pay, or
And
Kaylee not
it looks like you not
paying
quite have enough
or
points yet.
leaving with the food.
Oh, that's
or
okay,
taking
that's
someone
good.
else's food. Here we have
$10 for
Okay,
Perfect.
stop that narrative, please.
I do have a big burrito pork
You
here
just
for
heard
you.
Kaylee say she would share with Maddie.
Cool. Thank you.
$47. Thank you very much.
So then we see the girls move over to the other side of the Grub Truck where they're going to pick up their food later. And I'll put up an overlay of what the Grub Truck looks like from the outside, so we have a better understanding of what they were doing. Now, you can't hear them all the time. There is sometimes that we can hear them. I want to pay close attention to what everybody is doing here, and we'll talk about it as we go. We saw that Jack moved over near them as well. They're standing there just kind of on their phones looking at things. And we can really see Maddie swaying here. And again, I'm not judging her for that, but we can really tell how intoxicated she is. And I know some people interpret Jack as being creepy or sneaky or something. I interpret him as being extremely bored waiting for their ride so that he can go on home himself. That's just how I interpret it. Again, as a mother of young 20-year-olds, I don't get a weird vibe from his body language. He's waiting on his friends to get their food so they can get in their car, their ride car, and go home, and he can go home. I'm not sure what tan hat guy just went and looked at, but a bunch of people did come over from across the street, so maybe there was a commotion over there that he was looking at. Maddie is leaning up against the food truck here. A friend is about to come over, put her arm around Kaylee, and chit-chat with her for a minute.
$79. Thank you.
I'm gonna do this. Hold on. If we decide to
I'm going to slow it down a little so you can see the interaction between this guy and Maddie here. People have said she was harassing people as they were picking up their food. I don't know that she was harassing them. She was probably just teasing them, giving them a hard time. I mean, she's drunk, out with friends, and just having a good time. And while Kaylee is busy on her phone, you can see that she's always tries to stay near Maddie, look up at her from time to time.
And then you said a Mountain Dew?
Keep an eye on what is going on.
Big Rio chicken and a Mountain Dew. We're gonna do $11.
Where Maddie is standing is where they hand out the food. And it looks like it's the door is where they hand out the food based on the picture.
Hello. I need 2 chicken burritos with extra slaw.
2 chicken burritos with extra. $19 for you.
I know I have a $6 waiting for me.
Now here you can see Kaylee reach out her hand. She's going to try to pull Maddie over to her, just trying to get her friend out of the way, out of everybody's way. I've seen this with my daughter and her best friend. She's just trying to corral her drunk friend.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Let's see rewards.
Oh, fuck, I just hit your...
Maddie's not having it, so they decide to stay right there next to the truck. Now, we've all been there. You just kind of have to roll with it when you have someone who's drunk like that.
Sorry, man.
$13.
And Hat Guy is going to say something to Jack. They're going to laugh a little bit, and you can hear him say something about this up. So I think he's just laughing.
Worth it.
Oh, always. Order 81.
Again, this is just my interpretation. I don't see anything nefarious from Jack. He's keeping an eye on these girls until their ride comes. I mean, he's on camera the whole time. There's a sign on the outside of the truck that says it's being twitched live
that charge? No, it's not charge. It's just a modifier.
Maddie says something to the guy in the tank top, and Jack does the bow down to you motion, you know, just kind of giving him props for being out there in the freezing cold in a tank top and shorts, which is a very dumb move. But again, I've seen it out of my 20-year-olds all the time, that type of interaction. We see Kaylee talk to Maddie about something that's going on her phone. Maybe it's Jack D that they end up calling later over and over. Who knows? We don't know. We see Jack and Joe back there just kind of cutting it up, chit-chatting, waiting for them to get their food. Well, Jack is. I don't know what Joe's doing. Waiting on his own food, I guess. But again, they know they're on camera. They know that it's being Twitch live. Just a guess here that Joe's pointing out something on the menu.
$27.75.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
How many apples in the Mac of the week? 0, TJ.
All of them.
0.
Don't let them lie to you.
Order 82. Thank you.
This is how we can tell the food is being passed through the door, because he is taking an order right now out of the front, and food is about to be passed. And you don't see that happening on the inside cameras. That means it's coming out the front door.
You got it, man. One Mac and 5, $9 for you.
Perfect, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's going.
Tough.
Of course. Awesome. Dessert burrito for it's ready.
Order 83.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and then
Now there's a lot of interaction here with that group of 4. Again, I do believe it's just normal, typical interaction.
Time
Kaylee's
to
on her phone
start the
doing
old
whatever it is she's doing,
It's
and Maddie
been a
is
while
trying to keep
since
herself
this
held
engine
up
started.
on the side of the food
Let's
truck.
see if it starts. V V V V V V V V V V V V.
Now this is coming out of the Twitch's chat, and I'm going to throw up a picture here so you can see what it is. This is all being live streamed on Twitch. People are chatting as it's being streamed.
Oh great, the battery
My
is
first time
dead.
was when I went to
Well,
the grocery
better luck
store
next
to buy
time.
donuts.
for what?
First time I used, NFC. I don't have an Apple device, so it wasn't Apple Pay. I was desperate.
For donuts?
For donuts, yes.
Never used like a phone NFC pay. I guess unless you count the tap on the
They're
card.
carefree, laughing, and interacting with each other here. It warms my heart and breaks
Never
it
used
at
my
the same
phone
time.
Until at like a store.
Oh, really?
Always had my cards.
Okay. It's 'cause
You
you're
heard
too
Kaylee
prepared.
say no, Maddie, because she thought that was her food, and it
Because I try
wasn't.
not to forget my wallet. It's a good reason.
That's
not
smart,
to
Derek.
forget
It's
your
probably
wallet.
good to not lose your wallet. Guys, fuck yeah, great ticket times, honestly. Like, Luke, Tebow, really solid.
Now here we see Maddie put her hands up on the door where they're passing the food out through. And either Jack or Joe say something to her about it. And this is where the FU part comes in.
So Joe, how
Alright,
close are we
back
to
in.
you sitting down on Friday nights?
I mean,
We see here Joe says something to her because of the way he puts up his arm, reaches it out. We can see it in both pictures. We don't know what it is. We don't know if it was nice or friendly. I'm sure it was just drunk banter, honestly.
that was a solid rush. It's a good thing that it ended, but
And there we heard the FU. I do believe it was directed at Joe and not Jack, and I'm going to throw in Gray Hughes' analysis
thing
of
that
that
ended,
because
but-
I think he's spot on.
So you can hear it's really quiet. It's like, F you. But do we really even know she's the one that's saying that? You know, that's the funny part. Is how do we know she's the one saying that? And by the way,
I do feel
so
she's
notice how her hand is pointing like this, right? Now, if you were going to look at it, it looks like there is the hoodie guy's shoe and the other shoe, and that means she's pointing right in the middle of his body. But guess what? That isn't what's going on here because of the angle. So because the angle is going out like this, you have to rotate it, and that means the arm is literally pointing over in this direction, like this. You know, so it's not really. It's not anywhere near what it looks like. If you were just going to look at that arm in the shadow, it looks like it's pointing right at him. Like this one here, she's pointing at this guy or somebody else in the background. Okay, notice how again that little shadow is pointing just to the left of hoodie guy. But the angle of the shadow is like this, so you have to rotate it. It doesn't, just because the shadow's pointing at somebody doesn't mean that that's where she's pointing. And look at her face. It just doesn't line up. I don't know why people can't see that part. You know, it's like that is right here. So she's pointing right there. And when you, again, if you were looking at the shadow, it would look like she's pointing at the hoodie guy. But what you have to do is rotate it, and her arm is actually pointing like this because the shadows are going this way. So she's probably pointing more like at this angle, and it's either at him or some other person over here. But the reality is she's really intoxicated, and she's just probably, you know how you've seen this before. I mean, I don't know how many of you, you know, everybody in here has probably gone to college before, right? So, you know, when you're in college or even after college, when you go to a bar and there's somebody that's really drunk and they just start going, fuck you, you know, I mean, you know, to everybody. All right, sorry for saying the word, but I just wanted to say it. But it's just the way it is. People don't really, you know, these guys don't even seem like they give a damn what they're saying either. They're just like, oh boy.
And I agree with everything Gray said. I don't think she was pointed at anyone but Joe.
Round 1, so I'm liking it.
And we see this motion here from Jack, like, yeah, she's drunk, just ignore her. That's how I interpret this whole interaction. Nothing more. It doesn't have to always be nefarious, guys.
Tebow's thinking to himself, if I start slowing down on Meg, maybe I'll get to sit down.
And we see Kaylee and Maddie start to interact with each other like I have seen so many times from my daughter and her friends. Again, breaks my heart watching it now, but at the time, looking at it objectively, it's just two. One extremely drunk chick and one semi-drunk
The
chick.
highest ticket time I saw was 13 minutes, which is, I'm very satisfied. You guys have worked on the truck, and Derek and I have been the ones on Grill and Mac, and we've had longer ticket times than that. Like, you're doing well.
Really? Okay, cheap pork. I got news for you.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Alright, what did I miss? Reduce, reuse, lol. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
That gets on my nerves. And then, like, they want their numbers to be called.
Are you knowing that's super popular? No. Tomahawks, what's the side for? Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing extremely well. What sounds good?
Get the death by garlic and extra into it.
Yeah, definitely. Death by garlic. We'll add chicken to it. Anything else for you?
And then can I do the 5 cheese?
And 5 cheese?
Yes. And can I add chicken to that?
Of course.
We see Kaylee take a hit
We're
of
doing
Maddie's
death by
vape
garlic
here
with chicken,
and
5
get her
cheese
phone
with
out.
chicken. Anything else?
That should be everything.
Love it.
Now, I know
$23.
some people have interpreted this as her taking a picture of Jack. Got to get him on film. I don't interpret it that way. I'm sorry. Knowing what's right there, the menu and the ape, I truly think she was taking a picture of Maddie next to the ape, and then they look at it afterwards. They had all this other time after to take a picture of Jack, if that's what they were doing. I don't feel for a moment they were taking a picture of Jack.
If you're trying to pay with Cash App and you have to like scan a thing, we don't
Maddie's hanging on the door, laughing. Kaylee's just kind of watching and she'll start to take a video. We see Jack and Joe in the back laughing and interacting with each other.
$7.50 if that's everything for you. Slide. Yeah, slide tab.
Kaylee gets out her phone again and she's going to take a video of Maddie as she grabs the food and they go off to the car that they've been waiting on. I don't believe it is anything of Jack. The camera's not even pointed the right direction for it to be of Jack. So we see Kaylee videoing her as she got her food and she moves off the food she paid for. Jack is like, oh, they left without telling me goodbye. He looks back, oh, Joe's gone. So he heads down. Now here, I'm gonna freeze it. He walks by and you see him wave and then head on. Again, it's just my interpretation, but I truly believe he was making sure they got in their car. He waved at him, put his hands in his jacket, and then he heads out. He's heading home. He did what he came to do. Make sure no one messed with 2 drunk girls at the Grub Truck. And then he's going to head home or do whatever it is he's going to do. I know there's rumors of him headed up to a cabin as being his alibi. We do not know his official alibi. If Kaylee's parents don't even know his official alibi, how do we know it? We don't. We've heard rumors online. Friends have said this is what he's done. But technically, we do not know. Now, Joe hangs out for a while. I've sped the footage up so you can see it. Just kind of chilling and eating and all that stuff. I don't believe there was anything nefarious in this interaction at all. I did find this interesting as I was recording this footage straight from the Twitch stream itself. Someone had asked right as they leave, you can kind of see in the picture they're walking away. Right as they leave, someone had asked for the time from the Nightbot. And so they leave to get in their car at 1:52 a.m. Now, I sped it up times 6, I think it was, but I watched all the way until Joe left. He's there for another 10 minutes, just chilling out, eating, hanging out, talking. Nothing else really interesting happens. Again, these were all just my interpretations, my take on what happened at the Grub Truck. I just saw 2 drunk girls, my daughter's age, grabbing some food before they go home for the night and relax after a night out at the bar with friends. It breaks my heart watching this. It truly does, knowing that this was their last moments. And I know it's been rumored that they're going to start going back over people that they've previously cleared and rechecking alibis and stuff. And I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think it's a bad idea at all. But I don't feel we should all be attacking Jack. I don't think there's anything in this video that proves he did anything. There might be other things that point to him, but in this video, no. I think he was just watching 2 girls to make sure nobody bothered them or to make sure they didn't do anything really stupid at the Grub Truck before they get in their rideshare car and head home.